Hello, I'm Patrick Magee, sports writer for the Sun-Herald.
I'm Patrick Ochs at Sport Guys, Week 9.
We're here to talk about Friday night's big games. I'll be talking about George County, Ocean Springs, and also Pascagoula at Hattiesburg.
I'll talk about Stone visiting Picayune, and then our game of the week, which is East Central visiting St. Stanislaus. Pretty entertaining game. I would think with state, maybe even national interest. You look at Tony Brown for East Central, 2,200 yards, over 2,200 yards, leading the nation in rushing still. Visiting St. Stanislaus and Miles Brennan and the Rocket Chaws, one of the best passing attacks in the state, in the region. It seems funny to say after all that, but I think this game will come down to defense. I think whoever can force that extra turnover. So I was there last year, and the game went down in the fourth quarter. Stanislaus was able to spread out East Central's defense and dump it off to the running back and got some big gains that way. The interesting thing here, and as Connedy's kind of pointed out, where East Central, they're not just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, Tony Brown can hit the home run. So it'll be a good challenge. It'll be a challenge comparable maybe to Brother Martin as far as the running back is concerned, if they can contain him. I think Stanislaus, their defense has played better this year. They're leading the region in points allowed. Obviously, their offense is clicking all cylinders. I think the Rocket Chaws end up pulling ahead by 14, 18 points, maybe, and winning it in the end. And then it's kind of a cool matchup, I think, over in Picayune. You have John Feaster, former Picayune player. Dodd Lee was kind of a mentor for him to start out with. Now he's leading the upstart Stone Tomcats, and they're visiting Picayune, which in the latest AP poll was number 3 in the state. They're still undefeated. Picayune, I mean, they're rolling right now. They beat maybe their best competition last week for the region in Hattiesburg, edged them out there late. I think this one will be a fun game. You got Terry and Avery, one of the better running backs in the state, facing Joshua Littles, another great running back. 1,200-yard rusher, 1,400-yard rusher. And it's going to be another game. I think it'll go into the second half. I just think Picayune's too powerful. They've got a great set of running linebackers. Their defense is working as well. I just think Picayune in the end edges them maybe 18 points.
George County, Ocean Springs is two teams headed in different directions at the moment. George County's won back-to-back games. Ocean Springs has lost back-to-back games. And it just seems like things have clicked for George County now. We all knew how talented they were coming in. You have quarterback Raymond Spivey, who's a good athlete, but is really, I think, improved as a passer, been a little bit smarter with the ball, hadn't thrown as many interceptions this year. Of course, he may have the best batch of receivers in the state when you look at it overall. You have Tyrese Freifogel and Dwan Williams, who are two of the better receivers on the coast, and it doesn't stop there. Caleb Gentry is also a nice receiver, so he's got a lot of options. He's really moving the ball around. George County playing a little bit better on defense. They're not turning the ball over quite as much, you give George County the edge. Ocean Springs on their home field is going to give them a fight. Right now they probably got a chip on their shoulder. They're just not playing as well as they're capable of. Austin Williams, a receiver, and you have Malcolm Magee at quarterback. I really like the way those two guys work off each other. Magee can really run the ball. Maybe if he can have a little bit more success on the ground against George County, it gives Greyhounds a shot. But again, George County's just got the ball rolling, and I see them winning that game. Pascagoula going to Hattiesburg, one of the bigger games in Region 4-5A this season. Last year I was at that game in Pascagoula, and it was really a nice battle between Fabian Franklin, the Hattiesburg running back, and Reginald Hunter, the Pascagoula running back. They both had like 160 yards, big touchdown run for both of those guys. Hattiesburg's a very talented team, and they're going to be on their home field. They got a good quarterback in Julian Connor. I think he's thrown 2,200 yards this year, 25 touchdowns. I think it was only 3 interceptions, so he's been really efficient this year. They lost at Picayune, like you pointed out, last week, but that was really a barn burner, 56-48. So offensively, Hattiesburg's playing pretty well right now. So, Reginald Hunter's given, Pascagoula some momentum since he's come back from injury. Pascagoula's won 4 straight. I see this being a really tight game, but just being at Hattiesburg, I give the Tigers a slight edge there. But I think it's a game that really could be decided in a coin toss, maybe a 3-point game. We appreciate you watching again this week, and be sure to download the free Sun-Herald app to keep up with all the games Friday night. And we'll see you at the games Friday night.